What if we can change the outcome of a certain situation or control our environment better based on changing the way we think or the thinking process? It would be like flipping a switch, but it's not that easy, is it? So in this video, I'm going to delve deeper into exactly why and how you can do this. Welcome back, lovelies, to another episode here on She, Body and Spirit. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell because you wouldn't want to miss my weekly videos of self-help and encouragement and just in general helping you live a better lifestyle. So you've already got a little bit of a teaser on what today's topic is, so let's not dilly-dally, let's get to it. I've been in many situations where I could control the outcome or the environment purely based on my thought, okay? It is not easy, it is a very difficult thing to do, but I want to walk you through like a little bit of steps or a little bit of the how and how we can do this, because we always see videos on just change your perspective, just change your thoughts. But how exactly can we do this when it's sometimes extremely difficult to control ourselves? It's sometimes extremely difficult to regulate our emotions. When we are thinking something negative or we're thinking out a scenario in our minds, we're stressed about something, something's coming up, we are creating a reality for ourselves that doesn't even exist yet. We are creating this idea, this story, this emotion that your body is already going through and you haven't even experienced it yet. You can think of it like when you need to have a serious talk with someone or when you need to really do something difficult. When you start thinking or playing it out on your mind, in your minds, certain scenarios, you are already making it a reality and you are already putting your body under that stress of this is how it's going to go and this is how it's going to turn out. So think of it this way. If you have the power, I'm sure you've noticed that when you do certain things and you already start to feel that emotion, and that when before a meeting, maybe at work, you already start to feel the emotions because what is going to happen in the meeting, what is going to be said. So what if we could actually turn it around and have our bodies undergo a positive experience based on the realities that we are creating in our minds? If we can put ourselves under so much stress and anxiety because this is going to happen and this is going to happen in my future, why can't we change that into a positive reality? I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and the mind is limiting. Our mind will always try to be realistic. Most of us have realistic mindsets. We are not trying to set unrealistic goals, and I'm not saying that you should, but our mind limits us a lot to what we can actually do. Our mind will always think of an excuse. If we have this big dream of traveling the world, our mind will think of 10,000 excuses of why we shouldn't travel the world, why we shouldn't go for that goal, why we shouldn't aim for that dream. And I want to tell you that you shouldn't let your mind limit you. Your mind shouldn't be limiting. You have endless potential beyond what the mind can see. So don't let your mind limit your potential. But how exactly do we renew our mind? How exactly do we change the mind so that we go from creating scenarios and realities and putting our bodies under stress and stressing about meetings, situations, friendships, talks that we have to have, and limiting ourselves? And limiting ourselves to, I can't achieve that dream, I can't do what I want to do. How do we actually take that, crush it, and make a positive ray of sunshine reality for ourselves? Because we live in a world where we think that we can't. We get told we can't. We get told you have to have money, you have to have a certain outlook, you have to have a certain this, you have to have that in order to achieve something. But I'm telling you that you can do it with you and yourself alone. I was living proof. I'm living proof that if you think something and you're like, this is what I wanted, I'm going to go for it, that reality can actually become a reality. And it might not be exactly what you think, because God is in control. He's the one who will plan your steps. There's a verse that says, it's in Proverbs, and it says that the man determines its path, but the Lord determines our steps. So we can make our path and He will determine our steps. But we can only do that if we have a positive mindset. If we are going to stay in the thought process of I don't have the resources, I don't think this is possible, then that is it's going to become your reality. So how can you change that? It's not easy to not think that way, but by pushing yourself physically meaning with exercise. If you can get disciplined in exercise, you can discipline your thought process. So if you can go on the treadmill and yesterday you jogged 5 minutes, and then today you jogged 10 minutes. Yesterday you jogged 5 minutes, and then next week you jogged 10 minutes at once. And you're like, how did I just jog 10 minutes on one time? Because I could only do 5. Or maybe you go from 30 minutes to an hour and you're like, how did I just do that? By training. You trained your body to be fit. You trained your body to lift more weights, to lift heavier weights, to take on more excessive exercises. So we can do the same to our mind. We can train our mind to think a certain way. So every day you practice and you sit on things that you want, you write it down in a notebook, and you say to yourself, let's say, example, I want to travel the world. Let's take that example. And you say, I can get the job to get the money. I can actually plan the trip. I can actually go alone if I don't have anyone to go with me. Don't let anything limit you. And then it's not going to happen immediately. It might not happen right now, but you're setting yourself up for future success. Okay? Then another way is just to realize, you need to realize that the Lord even says you're capable of so much more. You're capable of so much more than this your head is telling you. Okay? We need to realize that if you want something, grab it with your both hands and don't let it go. Okay? Work at it. Get disciplined and focus on that. And then it is to actually go out there and do things in life. If you are a very introverted person, a person that doesn't really hang out with friends, you don't really like to go out, but you want to do a certain thing, try going to a group exercise, try doing a group run, try going to an event that requires being in a group setting. Push yourself beyond your limits, because once your brain's going to realize, but I actually did that. I was laying in bed and I was like, I can't, I'm too scared to go out and meet new people, but I want to so badly. And you go and push yourself and you do it. Your brain's going to realize, but you know what? I can actually push beyond the limit. So what's stopping me from doing anything else? There is a verse in the Bible that says, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. And I am actually practicing that out right now in my life. When I say yes to something, I need to go do it unless I actually really feel very sick or can't for any reason, but really, really can't. So if you say yes to a hangout with friends, yes to a night out, yes to a girls' day, yes to a spa event, whatever it is, if you say yes, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. So if you're going to commit to a certain activity, go and do it. And this is all going to make your mindset grow. This is going to make your mind grow and make your body and physically and mentally realize, but I can do so much more than I ever thought, because you are already pushing yourself to things that you thought you couldn't do. And then be in the moment. So this is just a few ways. There's a lot of ways in which we can transform our minds, in which we can go from, I can't do this, I don't know how to do this, I don't think I'll ever will, and staying in that mindset versus changing it, getting out of that box, jumping out of that box, hurtling out of that box, and changing your mindset to I can, I will, I am going to. I spoke about this in my other videos, but making a weekly win list, making a list where you count your wins. You're like, I did this. And then when you put things on paper, you actually realize how much you've done this week and accomplished. And that's all going to teach a certain discipline. And you're going to realize that you are not limited. You are not limited to the job you have. You're not limited to the family you have, or what your parents say, or what your friends think about you. You are limited to what you think about yourself and what the Lord says about yourself. So if you know and you feel like you want to do a certain thing, don't stop working at it. Never stop chasing your dreams. Know that you can chase them and you can successfully accomplish them, but always know that the Lord will determine your steps. And sometimes we are not going to get the exact plan that we want. Sometimes the Lord is going to come and change that plans to make it better. But if you set yourself a certain goal, you have something to work at, the Lord is going to work around that as well. And He is going to determine your steps around that. And if He sees something better for you, I promise you it's going to be better for you. But if you still set your goal and you still work towards that, your steps, you will lead your steps, and then you will change your plans when it's needed to, when the time comes. So the message of today's video is to not ever let your mind limit you. Never stop chasing your dreams, and don't be stuck in what society says you can do and what you actually know you can do, because we don't have to make ourselves small or tell ourselves that we can't because of what other people's doing, or what other people says about us, or the lies that we tell ourselves sometimes. So today's message is to never stop chasing your dreams. Even if it's unconventional, even if it's not what anyone else would do what makes you happy and do what you want in your life, and never let anyone or anything limit you.